Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, back with a quick and dirty unboxing video because I received more mail, this time coming from Greece once again, from Athens, from the man called George Mastrokostas, who is running the Sound and Silence label you've seen quite a lot. I've unboxed like a letter of theirs in May, actually in end of May, and it seems like they're up in their release schedule kind of. So just a few words on the Sound and Silence label in general. They've come from like a realm of ambient and stuff, ambient deep listening music, very harmonic, have evolved into a kind of like more post-rocky thing lately. I've been going into details about their sound, like in the past video. I'm gonna link this as well in the end card, and I'm gonna unbox this quick and dirty. I'm sober again actually, because on Wednesday I had like a bit of a dental surgery because as you might know, I'm getting implants and stuff, and the screws that are like drilled into your jaw kind of have been inserted into my jaw on Wednesday, which went pretty good, pretty fine. I felt quite fine after that, but of course of the local anesthesia and the painkillers you have to swallow all the time because they prevent like kind of infections and stuff and inflammation. They made me a little drowsy, or made my body a little drowsy, but interestingly my head kind of functioned well throughout the whole time, and it was kind of annoying and kind of exhausting that my body wasn't working that quickly as my thoughts were moving. So yeah, but this went fine. Went to a first checkup today, which also went fine. I guess the kind of like threads which are in the wound, where they like sealed the wound with and stuff, will be removed on Wednesday, and then it will take about 8 or 10 weeks to heal, and then other things will come and I will get my implants finally, and then I'm done with that, hopefully for the rest of my life. So I don't want to spend more time at the dentist, and don't want to spend like a few $1,000s again, or like euros again, on that kind of shit. But this is just a side note. Let's go into this envelope quick and dirty. And as you might see on my Twitter kind of, and on the internet, there is news to come, but like big news to come for me, but you gotta wait in anticipation of what is to come, because I got a special thing in store kind of. So what we got here is an album, of course, and a release sheet. Sound and Silence, they're typical, like very like detailed release sheets. What this is Sound and Silence 092. So as I said, they are approaching the 3-digit realm pretty much quickly. The artist is called Nowhereans, not Norwegians, but Nowhereans, like nowhere, so people from nowhere, I guess. And the title of the album is That Is Not an Acceptable Lullaby, which is kind of demanding and kind of like, frech is a word in German. If a child says this to an adult, this is not a acceptable lullaby, this is impudent, maybe is a word for that. I don't know, no idea. But this is definitely a new addition to the Sound and Silence roster. Nowhereans is an alias created by Crawford Blair, a musician sound designer who is most well known as a founding member of the band Rothko, like the famous painter. That's a band I've heard of, but I don't have any idea where they are located musically. I might presume post-rock, but I'm not too sure, so I will not like guess further on that. But they have been around in the 90s, mostly in London, I guess, and have released on labels like Low Recording, Bella Union, the label of Cocteau Twins Simon Ramont, with whom they collaborated as well, and have done split releases with Fortet as well, so, and disbanded in 2001. So well, post-rock might not be that far away, maybe a little bit of like shoegazing, calm, like somewhere subdued sound when I think of Cocteau Twins as well, but whatever. So Mr. Crawford Blair has moved to Norfolk and has been involved in various musical projects and gatherings and collaborations, and then he recorded this album with fellow musicians like Elise Bjarnadottir, which is Icelandic obviously, Bjarnadottir, Matthew Reifler and Jason Emberton on mastering, and this is influenced by the eruption of Mount St. Helens. So Blair definitely seemed to have watched like a few documentaries about that, and yeah, it comes in 2 editions. One of the editions we got here sounds interesting definitely, and I like the cover because it definitely is a probably video still of the like pyroclastic flow going down the steep side of Mount St. Helens, I guess. So if you're into volcanoes and stuff, you might know this picture kind of. Here's the Sound and Silence logo on the back. And well, thinking of volcanic eruptions, they might not be an acceptable lullaby for a reason, probably, because my friend Donna Maya has lived on the Canary Islands for the past year or 2, and when the volcano there erupted, she was kind of stressed out, I guess. So this is copy 035 of 200. Once again, the typical trademark Sound and Silence flap thing. So you close the CD like this, open it like this, and this actual CD is once again pretty much clean and beautiful, no variants. This is not an acceptable lullaby, and there's a tracklist thing on there as well, which is this one, and which is kind of more uplifting and rural in comparison to the actual album art and photo and stuff. And it reveals that the guest musicians are like playing violin, cello, trumpet, and also like contributing vocals as well, whilst Crawford Blair, the main man, I guess, behind the Novarious project, is on keys and field recordings. So this might be very intimate, like lo-fi, minimal, folksy, pop leaning, I guess, but pop like in, think left field, pop meets electronics, whatever. So 10 tracks on here, 11 tracks on here. I'm very curious what this is. I'm going to review this on my website, NightSLC, of course. Link down in the description box, and also a link to my website, Stickerlove and worlddomination.com, which I've recently relaunched, and I'm putting up new content on there, or new old content on there every day. And after I'm finished with that, I will have new content to come, so a lot of sticker photos popping up. And this being said, news and stuff, more news, is that we are relaunching our BETA-ZERFALL party, the party we did at the Schaubude in Kiel. Like, we is me and Herr Brandt, with whom I also remixed that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 track By No More, and as an old friend of mine. And we did like a decade ago a party that was called BETA-ZERFALL, BETA-DK, in Kiel originally, where we like mixed, I don't know, post-punk, new wave, no wave, indie electro, a little bit of industrial, electro punk, indie, and blended this into a big like party vinyl melange thing, which also attracted a kind of interesting mixture of folks, like of course the goth and like BANDCAMP people, but also like younger folks who are into like indie, and like some audio lead fans which were like more into the electropunk side of things. And yeah, for reasons we stopped this party more than a decade ago, but now the Schaubude is owned by new folks, and I've been contacting them, and we got a new date to come, which is the 14th of October. So really looking forward to go back to that place with Herr Brandt to play there and DJ there, probably on a more or less regular basis. So we'll see how this goes. So, and the approach of that party is I'm gonna play that kind of post-punk, indie, whatever thing, like a techno DJs and the industrial thing. So I'm gonna beat match that whole thing, and also like post-punk and like crowd disco and whatever fits into that kind of realm. I'm definitely going to beach match that, and Yo-Yo is more like the classic indie DJ, so he does like blends and stuff, but it's not like a DJ that is like versatile in terms of like proper beat matching and stuff in that kind of music. Well, he can do that kind of, but with other stuff. So this is like a kind of black and white approach to the craft, and we're complementing each other very well. So I'm very looking forward to that. But now back to the Sound and Silence label, released on June 10th, is Log Out, the Instrumentals, as catalog number Sound and Silence 093. Log Out is also a name I never heard on the label as far as I can remember. Also a new edition of Log Out to the roster, of course. Is a solo project of a multi-instrumentalist born in Athens, Greece, who for over a decade has been producing his wonderful music, ranging from acoustic folk and lo-fi to dream pop and electronics, with releases on Inner Ear and Tiny Room Records, and has collaborated with a lot of artists like Christos Linas, Orestes Petrakis, Calliope Mitropoulou, and others, and also has been a member of an indie alternative band, obviously, which is called The Place Within, which was active between 2005 and 2010. So I don't know if I've heard that name. That rings a distant bell, but I don't have any clue if that's like for real or if it's just a memory of a memory of a memory of something else, kind of. And yeah, fifth release for Log Out as a solo project, returning to classical guitar, and which he has been playing like since he's been a kid. This is the first album without lyrics and musical themes written in the span of like classical and indie folk. Also supported by violin, provided by a classical violinist who has also been active in other projects in Athens and London as well. And George Mastrokostas, who's the man behind the Sound and Silence label, has mastered this. And it's interesting that a lot of like Greek people and Greek musicians have a close connection to London, because my former booker of the early noughties, Takis Pagones, who ran the Imp Artists agency, he's also a Greek guy, and he booked me to Greece a few times, but he was like learning to play classical guitar, I guess, as well, or some classical thing at a conservatorium in London, and we met like in the record store ages ago. So, but this is just a side note. Once again, on the back we got that classic Sound and Silence logo. And we got the photo, which is very kind of also dark or in a darkish mood, but with the light coming from the top also provides a bit of like visual hope, I guess. So this is what we're dealing with here. Log Out, the instrumentals. Interesting to see an artist move away from writing vocals, actually. Also 200 copies. This is copy 063. And once again, we got the clean CD on here. I also like that they're using like a kind of varying typography on those CDs. And we got a track listing here, which is pretty much complementing the artwork with like seven tracks, I guess, on there. So I'm also going to go review that on my website, NightStyleC, as soon as possible. The pile of our albums that are sitting here is like kind of shrinking, but I also you might have seen that on Twitter, not on Twitter, on Instagram. I've received more mail from Alessandro Scoppio, actually, who's an Italian jazz and classically trained piano player. He sent me his new album as well, so I posted that on Instagram. And yeah, if you want to check out more music I do review and that's not featured on here, or records I do play as a DJ or whatever, and I find interesting to post, please check out my Instagram, also down in the description below. Of course, there is BANDCAMP and another video down there somewhere, so you have more things to check out and watch. And I'm going to go into editing mode right now because I want to upload this video before midnight, and I hope this works out. So BassJunkiii out for now. See you in the next one.